It's really easy to choose a bad man. Like really, really easy, because they lie.
These scenarios come down to access. Do you have access to the type of man that you feel are worth you, that you deserve? Or subscribe. Let's talk about it.
Men love to blame women for choosing shitty men, as if, like, statistically speaking, there's just a big pool of good men. I mean, if you get a bag of M&Ms and like 95 of them, 100 M&Ms, and 95 of them are filled with shit, how many do you think, like, how many times do you think I'm going to reach in there and grab a non-shit filled M&M? It's the pool that we're dealing with, you guys. It's not the chooser's problem. It's the pool. The selection is not great. Not great. Statistically speaking, there are a lot of bad apples out there. It's really easy to choose a bad man. Like really, really easy, because they lie. They lie. They misrepresent themselves. They pretend to be somebody else until, you know, several months in, sometimes longer. If you're really lucky, they'll pretend for a year, and then you've moved in with them. Maybe you've made some commitments with them, and then they drop the mask and you're like, oh, who is this? And then people want to blame you for choosing poorly.
As uncomfortable as it is, that's still you choosing poorly. You cannot absolve the chooser from this. It's always going to be the chooser's decision whether or not they're saying, hey, I want M&Ms, or do I want another type of candy? Do I want another type of sweet? Do I want to go somewhere else where the pool isn't like what I've been used to? The issue here, and this is not to detract that from what you're saying, that this does happen, but nowhere near is it saying that the majority of men are bad. There's no stat that says majority of men are bad. What we have here is a selection issue, is a value issue. When you start comparing it to just ubiquitous candy that's everywhere, the type of candy that you want, the type of food or type of nourishment that you want has requirements. It has a dress code for you to enter. Bad men, poor men have very little standards. Does not matter. They just want you because you're there, you're available. They want you, their resources, sometimes just simply your body. But those men that you say are good, that are actually, because they are out there, you don't qualify for them. That's what it is. If you did, you'd have access and you'd be around that. It's a question of value. Once we walk away from what you started life with, as soon as you hit, puberty, unfortunately, sometimes earlier than that, you have attention from men. The chronic issue that we see when it comes to a lot of women, because you're so used to the attention, you never learn to separate attention, the different attention you can have from just a regular shitty man to a man that's actually worth something. You value them the same until you get to know people, until you rise above and just saying, okay, I'm getting all this attention. How do I now be more discerning? What things am I looking for? But we never really tell you what to do with that. We never really show you what to do with that. Your examples get poorer and poorer from each generation. So you end up deciding, hey, I'm going to do this because it feels good. It looks good. It says the right things. And then you double down in a relationship with that person. You're committed. Maybe you're living together. Maybe you have a kid already. Maybe you're married. And then you realize, oh, this person isn't who they say they were. But in reality, what often happens is that people change, scenarios change, situations around them change. That man that you dated and married and had all the fun on the trips, running around the world, versus now you have the pressures from childbirth. You've changed, he's changed, your scenario has changed, and you look at him in this changed sort of state. It's new to both of you, and you say, oh, wow, this is who you were all this time. No, this is who I became. People are not stagnant. People will change. People will develop. People will find new things that change them. Pain, struggle, loss, all these things affect people. But now that this thing has not worked out in your favor, it's a bad man. He just fooled you this entire time. On one hand, men are master manipulators. Another time, they don't have any type of clue what they're doing. They're incompetent. You can't have it both ways, but it seems like you need to when you don't know how to take accountability. But let's go with the idea that all these men are bad. Statistically, all these men are bad. That just means you have to be even better to get the attention of the type of man you want. Either way, it comes down to the chooser. Either way, it comes down to chooser. Before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. We're on that quest of 5,000 subscribers and then, and then beyond. But we can't get there without you. So if you find value in this channel, in the posts, in the lives, subscribe, share the video. Also, we got merch in the store. So hype the video, share the video. And of course, membership is open if you want to support the channel. So we're highlighting this, or we're using this because it's a constant reminder of when you look externally for the problems, your life becomes very easy and you're void of situations or obstacles that may hit you that say, hey, I may have to change. When we look at it from what happens with women, you have a short timeline to get some of these changes out the way. When you consider when is the last thing something that happened to you that fundamentally changed who you were, it's usually when you're younger. It's usually those first instances of heartbreak or challenge that give you a chance to say, hey, I need to get better. I need to improve. What we don't do, because we don't really have honest conversations with women, we don't say, hey, that type of man that you want, he has this standard. And this is what is important to him. Well, what do we do when those conversations are had? You try to chastise the man and his decision making. He shouldn't want this. That's wrong for him. His mama this. He has black sisters. He has whatever the issue. We constantly hear refrains about why it's wrong for him to want these things, rather than saying dating is a competitive sport. This is the key. This is what's missing. Dating is a competitive sport. For the higher echelon, in your opinion, however you decide that, what you want, someone else probably wants, and the masses probably agree. This is particularly what we like. This is how we determine what was high value. Or then majority of women say, that's important. I want a man that has these characteristics. It's never said he has to be this certain race, creed, religion. No, you said these are the stats that matter to us. You have to have money. You have to have this. You have to have that. We want you at a certain height. Cool, cool, cool. That is the standard. That is what you set. But now, if so many women are saying this is what we want, part of that you can say a good man. Part of that you can say it's a good man. I want this as a person. This is what I'm looking for. You and all your friends probably agree the same thing. You and all your larger group probably agree that's the same thing. Now you have to compete. All those friends that are looking at you, that you like to go to brunch, you have to compete for that quality, that type of man. Now, if you make good, and however you define good, that now narrows that margin. If you want to say it's the 5 M&Ms in the bag, well, you're still going to have to reach in and decide, this is what I want. Or of course, you can say, I just choose to be alone. That's still a viable option. But what won't change is, because it's impossible. It's really impossible. Some of these conversations we have saying, well, men need to hold men accountable. How? If you're saying most men are awful, they're mean, they're manipulative. Okay, how do you change that for those that aren't? There's no mechanism in place here where we go around policing other men and say, how was that date that you went on? What did you do? What did you say? You know that was wrong. You got to spend some time in jail until rehabilitate you. There's no mechanism like that. This is, of course, us agreeing with your notion that, there's only 5% good men out there. But the majority are bad. Okay, do you want a good man or you want a bad one? Even if you get away from saying, stop blaming women for their choices, this is saying this is what's available. Are you ready to compete with the majority of your friends, of the women that look like you, of women of varying ages, for that 5% that are good men? Or is it more realistic to say, yeah, where I'm dating, I don't really find a lot of good men, because that may be a reflection of where I am in life, my standard, what I accept, how I meet this person, the questions I avoid, the questions I duck when I respond to answers. There's other factors in place here. Men are not that clever to hide who they are for years, but men are human and they do change. When situations stop serving their best interests, they change, just like you. If the person you were with before you were dating, or when you started dating, isn't necessarily the person that you end up with 10 years into your marriage. Experience changes that. Proximity changes that. We need to get away and start thinking that all of a sudden he just decided, he took off the mask and he was Joker. He was insane, and I just never knew the entire time. If you didn't, it just means you were lying to yourself. But listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on the screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. Of course, if you listen to sound of my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. We're trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.